Sorry, in this second video I am just going to tell the story about the Drona. In the story of Drona, Eklavya, a forest dwelling Nishad, started practicing archery on his own, treating Drona, a person of his varna, as his teachers. He did so against the Brahmanical norms. According to Brahmanical norms and practices, the castes such as Nishad were not entitled to get education. Training in weaponry was given only to the Kshatriya. It also makes it clear that all people in society were not prepared to adopt the Brahmanical practices. Eklavya, while violating these practices, himself acquired great skill in archery. Guru Drona's demand for fee from Eklavya too was in a way against the Brahmanical practices. It meant that Drona had accepted Eklavya as his pupil. Teacher was entitled to demand fee from the pupil, but Drona had not imparted education to Eklavya. But in this story, which I was talking in our last video, which was due to some reason, technical reason, just stopped. So in this video, I am just going to tell this story, Drona, and it show the non-Kshatriya person could be also take education, archery education, which was only Kshatriya. Kshatriya was entitled. It was only Kshatriya introduced that Kshatriya could take the weaponry education. But here Eklavya, which was a forest dweller, Nishad, who also took weaponry education, and the teachers Dronacharya accepted ultimately. Okay, but during the discussion of this time, so many literary resources. Mahabharata is one side literary resources, and another side resources were the Tamil, Pali, and Prakrit language written literary resources also provides about the status of common people in the society beyond the Brahmanical chronicles. They provide us so many information about the lower section of society. They were not accepted that the Brahmanical chronicles are absolutely correct. Some places they revolted. They opposed the condition of this untouchable society. As you know, in another episode I have discussed about the Chandal. Chandal were the lowest sections of societies. They were beyond the Varna system. They were not allowed to move during the daytime through the city or a village area. They only used the jewelry, dresses, or other goods who thrown in the Shamsan Ghat during the incarnation, carnations process. They wear the iron jewelry, and this information also provided by two Chinese travelers, Fayan and Wensangs, both. Before the entry in the city, they just give symbols how they could alert the common people that they could not see the Chandals. According to Manu Smriti, the condition of Chandal was not up to mark, not respected position in the society. So sometime in some story, Chandal also revolted such type of system, against such type of system. We have a story in the Matanga. This story is also related to our city Varanasi. So please listen carefully this story. But once the Bodhisattva means the earlier life of Gautam Buddha. In Jataka story, Gautam Buddha is also introduced as a Bodhisattva. Shakya, Bodhisattva. These all are some other name of Gautam Buddha. Okay, so once the Bodhisattva was born outside the city of Banaras as a Chandal's son and named Matanga. One day, when he had gone to the city on some work, encountered Ditta Mangalika, the daughter of a merchant. When she saw him, she exclaimed, "I have seen something inauspicious," and washed her eyes. The angry hangers on then beat him up. In protest, he went and lay down at the door of her father's house. On the seventh day, they brought out the girl and gave her to him. She carried the starving Matanga back to the Chandal settlement. Once he returned home, he decided to renounce the world. After attaining spiritual powers, he returned to Banaras and married her. A son named Mandavya Kumar was born to them. He learned the 3 Vedas as he grew up and began to provide food to 16,000 Brahmanas every day. One day Matanga, dressed in rags with a clay alms bowl in his hand, arrived at his son's doorstep and begged for food. Mandavya replied that he looked like an outcast and was unworthy of alms. The food was meant for the Brahmanas. Matanga said, "Those who are proud of their birth and are ignorant do not deserve gift. On the contrary, those who are free from vices are worthy of offering." Mandavya lost his temper and asked his servant to throw the man out. Matanga rose in the air and disappeared. When Ditta Mangalika learnt about the incident, she followed Matanga and begged his forgiveness. He asked her to take a bite of the leftover from his bowl and gave it to Mandavya and Brahmanas. So, beta, through this story, we are looking here how time to time the Chandals, like lower sections of societies, opposed. We have 2 schools of literature. First of all, Brahmanical literatures and Buddhist literature. Brahmanical literatures generally promotes the Varna system. They promotes the Brahmanical traditions, they promotes the divine theory of Varna system. They promote the Aryan culture, and other side, this Buddhist literature promotes the non-Aryan culture, non-Brahmanical traditions. They are also in favor of the non-Kshatriya kings. They were not ready to accept the norms of Brahmanical traditions. So beta, these are two traditions, the Buddhist literature and the Brahmanical literature. Brahmanical literature, Mahabharat is the best example of this Brahmanical literature, and the Pitaka literature, Jataka stories are some example of the Buddhist literature. Buddhist literature is not in the favor of by caste or caste system. Do you know how caste system came in our Indian society, beta? First of all, as you know, the Varna system. Second was the according to professions in our society. When economy was going to spread and there were so many professions was emerging in our economic system, so a particular types of professions introduced as a particular type of caste. As for example, the professions of making of jewelry by gold were known as the goldsmith. The making of tools by iron, they were introduced as a iron smith. Similarly, the oilic professions were another. The porter making people were known as the porter, means the kumhar. Okay, so these all are some different examples. Of course, third factors, when some people, some rulers came from the other part of the world in India, they were known as the Malech. After that, they were accepted by society, and some caste were also introduced, like Chandal, who were only the limited for a very outside of the society area. Okay, so these are some caste structure of our society. Beta, in last discussion of this second episode, means this second video, I am going to discuss about the about the distribution of you can say the property, how the property distributed. Property distribution was also influenced by the Varna system. Kshatriya and Brahmanas were more prosperous community of the society. They had their own property. They could get so many, property from so many resources. Vaishyas were very important part of the society who increase the economy, and production of Vaisyas only generally due to the for Vaishya. Okay, Vaishya, the production of Vaishya was generally for the economy of society, for the Kshatriya and Brahmanas, but the Shudras were not allowed to their own profession according to their own choices. In a Tamil literature, it is mentioned that a person who give donation for the needy people, they are great person, they are respected. But a person who collect property only for their own interest, they are not respected in the society. So these are some different concepts. Similarly, beta, in our this chapter, one very important topic, B.B. Lal, a great archaeologist who started the excavation in 1951-52 in Hastinapur near Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, where Kuru was established during the Mahabharat period. There were 7 layers excavation he done, and he find out 5 to 7 layers very important for the period of Mahabharat. Some shaked bricks, some raw bricks, some grass walls, like some raw walls found from this area. Some very little pottery also found from this area. So this excavation is also very important for this chapter. Now ultimately you can say the whole chapter is centered with the topic of Mahabharat. And Mahabharat, already we have so many ideas. I have made a very interesting musical based music sound based PPT for you, and I will provide this PPT after this episode to conclude the chapter. Today these are some sufficient information from this chapter. So after discussion, after conversation, I would like to give some important questions in written form. So please note your question in your notebook. Thank you. Have a nice day.